You guys, holy cow, March 2021 is here. We have a new income to budget off of. So today I'm breaking it down to show you our actual household budget for March. Hey guys, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you our actual household budget for the month of March. But before we get into it, I want to let you guys know that the budget template I will be using is actually one that you can get yourself on my shop. So I will have a link to it down below so you can check it out. It's an instant download, works in Excel, Numbers, Google Sheets, whatever you want to use. So you can check it out with the link in the description box down below. So if you're new here, I share my actual household budget every month here on YouTube. So if you want to check out more budget with me videos, then subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any more. And to give you a little bit of backstory, I live in Portland, Oregon with my husband Jacob and my 9-month-old son Peter. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first here we have our income section. We have Jacob's income and my income individually blocked out. So Jacob just got a new job. He started a new job in February, so this is our first full month budgeting off of a new income, and I'm super excited for him, so proud of him with his new job. He is still doing marketing, but he got it's a promotional title change, and it also came with a great pay increase, which we're really grateful for. So Jacob's doing that. Of course, he's still working remote, working from home. Let me know in the comments below, are you still working from home? Because it's crazy that it's now March 2021 and we've been working from home for a year. It's insane. But I'm really grateful that this has been the best silver lining out of all of it, is that Jacob has been working from home during Peter's almost entire first year of life at this point. So that's been a huge blessing. But anyway, yeah, new job. It's very exciting. Really proud of him. So I also have a day job. I work for an employer at 5 hours a week doing payroll and accounting. So that's very minimal, but I do receive a little paycheck from that. And then we have our business income. So this is for my business and everything that you see here on YouTube and social media. So this month I paid myself a salary of $5,000. And then actually, I don't know why there's money in actual. I'm gonna delete that out for now. And then the total that we plan to bring home for our household this month is $9,400. So now to show you where we plan to spend every dollar of this income. So we use a zero-based budget, which means all of our income equals all of our money out, which includes expenses and savings. Every dollar has a place. So first off, we have our expenses, and we are Christians. We believe in giving to our church and other organizations. So the first thing that we have here is our tithe, and that is at $940, which is 10%, and this is going to our church. Next we have is African New Life. We support 2 children in Rwanda through African New Life, and that is $78 a month. And then we support an additional missions organization at $40 a month. Next we have is our mortgage, and this is our standard mortgage for our home. We've lived here for a year and a half now, and this payment includes our principal, interest, PMI, insurance, taxes, the whole thing. So that is $2398.60. And then we have our HOA. We do live in a neighborhood with a homeowners association, so it is what it is, and that's $121.46. Next we have is water and sewer, and this is right around usually $93, $95, so I think I just copied this over from a previous month. Then natural gas, I expect to be somewhere around $60. We have natural gas to heat our home, and we are still in the winter months, so this will be paying for February's gas. But since I do live in Portland, Oregon, winter is pretty mild here. We haven't had snow yet. We're supposed to maybe have some this week. I'm filming this a little bit early, but we'll see if we actually do get snow, but it's usually around 45-ish degrees for winter, so not that bad. Then we have trash, which we pay trash every other month, and this will not be a trash month. Then we have electric at $50. Because our house is heated with natural gas, electric is just all of the lights that we have on and anything that's plugged in, which should be a little bit lower in the wintry months. Actually, it's usually lowest in spring and early fall, because we don't have to have lights on as often because it's lighter outside, and also we're not running our air conditioner yet, so should be around 50, maybe a little less. Next we have is internet, and that is at $49.95 each month as a standard. And then we have our phones. This is for my phone and Jacob's phone, and that is $117.33 each month. Next we have is insurance, and this is car insurance for our 2013 Corolla and RAV4, and that is $128.58. And next we have is life insurance. We have a life insurance policy on myself and my husband Jacob as a term life insurance policy, and that is $52.89 each month. Next we have is groceries, which we budget for $350. So that's what we plan to spend every month on groceries. Then we have eating out at 100. So we still haven't eaten out at actual restaurants. I know I share this like every single time I do an update video, but just to update you, I'm recording this like actually a bit earlier because I set my budget pretty early. But as of right now in Oregon, in like mid-February, restaurants are still only allowed to do outdoor seating or takeout. There's no indoor seating for restaurants. So I just don't really care to sit outdoor in the winter. I know that we could have the option to go to a restaurant and sit outside, but I'm not very interested, though we do takeout sometimes. So that's where we are allowing ourselves to do takeout. And because of the pandemic, whenever we do takeout, I also try and tip really well, honestly, because it's a rough time to be in the restaurant industry in Oregon. So next we have is gas. This is gas for our cars, and that should be around like $40 a month. That's like, we only really have to fill up our cars once a month because we're all still working from home. Next we have is fun. And you know what, you guys, I think I'm gonna leave fun in the budget this month. We haven't spent money on fun in like a year, since maybe February of 2020. But I think that we're actually gonna maybe go to the zoo in March. I'm looking forward to it. I have like a date planned with one of my friends, and so I'm hopeful that we can like take our kids to the zoo in March. If the weather's a little bit nicer, that'd be like a perfect outdoor activity. I'm really glad that we're now getting into spring, because I know the pandemic's been hard for everyone, but like when it's pandemic and you're not really supposed to be inside, but that's the only thing you can do because it's winter and rainy and cold, it's been hard. But as we're getting into like spring and we can do some more outdoor things and like see people that way, I would really love that. So I'm gonna leave $50 in here for fun, and I'm really hopeful that we'll be able to do that. Next we have is miscellaneous, and that is at $100 because there's always something random that comes up in the month, so it's important to have a miscellaneous category. Then we have $50 for our Peter fund. So our son's name is Peter and he's 9 months old, and we've decided to open up a brokerage account and save $50 a month into it, with the idea that we will gift him that money eventually down the road to help him with things like a car or a wedding, or help him with the down payment on a house, like something like that. So we are doing $50 a month into that brokerage account. Next we have is college. We put $200 a month into Peter's 529 plan, which we just have ours through the state of Oregon that we opened up. Next we have is extra mortgage. So this is like the other big financial goal that we're working on right now, which I guess I didn't share the other ones, but our first big financial goal is saving at least 15% into retirement, and you don't see that here in our budget because we are doing that through our 401ks with our employer, so that gets deducted out before it hits our bank account. And the amount that I'm budgeting off of is the amount that hits our bank account, so that's after insurance, 401k, taxes, like everything. So that's our like net pay. So that gets taken out, as well as our Roth IRAs, which we've already fully funded for 2021. So right now the only investing that we're doing is just out of our 401ks with our employer. So we're also saving for Peter's college. That's another big goal. And then we are working on putting extra money to our mortgage principal, because we do have PMI on our loan, and we'd really love to be able to drop PMI so that we don't have that extra cost every month. It's only like $95 a month, which isn't very much, but it would be nice not to have. And we're actually getting pretty close to having 20% and being able to drop it. So I'm hopeful that we can do that maybe in the spring. I've confirmed many times with our mortgage lender, and the only thing that we need to do to drop PMI is just pay for an appraisal, and then if it ends up that we have 20% equity, then they will just drop it. So it always is the risk though of paying for the appraisal and having it not come out to be 20%, so I definitely want to make sure that we are in the ballpark before we get that appraisal. So this month we were planning to put $1,879.34 as an extra principal payment to the mortgage. So next we have is our savings section, and I love as part of the budget because I love saving money towards things. So I have our beginning and ending balance of all of our funds blocked out because I haven't showed you our February 2021 budget report yet, so you'll have to check that out when that video drops. But I'm showing you all the money that gets added in. But how our sinking funds work, we keep the total of all of our sinking funds in one bank account, and then I just use this budget spreadsheet to know how much is in each fund. But everyone does it differently. Some people have a bank account per sinking fund, so there's a ton of different options, but that's how we work it. So first we have here is our emergency fund. So like I said, we fully funded our Roth IRAs in January, and initially I was planning to put $1,000 each month into the Roth IRAs, but then we decided to fully fund them in January. If you guys haven't checked out Personal Finance Club on Instagram, you need to go follow him. He makes investing so easy and very interesting, and he did a post about like dollar cost averaging, like putting money in every single month versus putting it in as soon as possible. And from what he ran historically, it seemed to be better to put money in as soon as possible because you have more time in the market. So I decided to do that for this year, and we'll see. And I think just the biggest thing that he always tells people is invest early and often, and don't worry about like all the nitpicky things. But I just decided, I was like, well, we'll just invest it like as soon as possible. So that's why we maxed out our Roth IRAs early in January. Again, I'm not like a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just sharing what we did personally. And go check out Personal Finance Club on Instagram because I love his page. He has tons of great info if you're wanting to learn more about investing. So therefore, to get that $12,000 that we needed to max out our Roth IRAs, I just pulled it from our emergency fund because a Roth IRA could be used as like a last resort emergency fund where you can withdraw contributions on your Roth IRA without taxes or penalties. So I would never ever want to do that, but if there was something humongous, catastrophic that came up that we had to use an emergency for, then I do have that money in the Roth IRA. That being said, our emergency fund goal is to have $25,000, and so we were at that point, but I took out 12, so we are just boosting our emergency fund back up to 25. So I felt confident that we had like 15 grand in our emergency fund already, so that's why I decided to take the money out. So anyway, we are now replenishing the emergency fund with $1,000 each month to be what we would have put to the Roth IRAs. Next we have is Jacob. Jacob gets $150 of personal spending money each month, and he can use this to spend however he wants. And I love keeping this in the sinking funds items in our budget because you can save it up or you can spend it or like do whatever you want. So he gets $150. And I have been getting $75, but we recently talked that I should get $100. So I'm going to update this in real time here. So I get $100 of personal spending money. I'm hopeful that as things start opening up more, like I'll be able to go do some more things and spend my money a bit more. Next we have is extra giving. We put $50 a month into an extra giving fund, and this allows us to say yes to additional giving opportunities if they come up, which we love doing. Then we have gifts. We put $50 a month into a gifts fund. We have lots of friends having babies, getting married, all the things. So it's just nice to have money set aside for gifts whenever that comes up. Then we have vacation. We're putting $400 a month to vacation. We are planning to go to Hawaii in May. We'll see if that actually happens. I'm still kind of holding out a little hope that maybe it will, but worst case, we move it to like fall, and hopefully that'll be a better time to go. So we're saving $400 a month for vacation. Next we have is Christmas. We put $100 a month into a Christmas fund, and that way when December rolls around, we'll have everything covered for Christmas expenses. Next, we are doing medical. We're putting $25 into the medical fund. So this is something that I may talk about in an upcoming video, but basically we were on the high deductible health plan with Jacob's previous employer, and now that he's at his new employer, they only have a PPO option. But we decided to save $100 a month because we had the high deductible health plan. But now that we're on the PPO, we're deciding to just do $25 a month, and hopefully that'll be enough to cover any sort of co-pays basically if we need to go to the doctor. So $25 a month. Next we have is car maintenance at $75 each month, and that's what will cover any sort of car repair, car maintenance that we may need to do. Then we have house maintenance at $375. So we have decided to save 1% of our house value annually into house maintenance. So took my house value, multiplied it by 0.01 to get 1%, and then divided that by 12. So $375 is about what we need to save each month to cover any sort of house repair. We really haven't had to do anything for our home because it's fairly new, but this way we have the money set aside if anything happened that we needed to take care of. Next we have his household at $100 a month, and this covers things like paper towels, tissues, toilet paper, detergent, soap, like all of those sorts of things. And then we have $100 into the baby fund, and this covers things for our son Peter, like clothing, toys, any sorts of expense that we may need to spend on because we have a baby. So that's $100. So we are saving $25.25 into our sinking funds this month. And you guys, we have a little update that we need to do for our budget. In my budget template here, I have this line that has a difference should be 0. So I need to get this number to 0 for my budget to be a zero-based budget. And as you can see, since I updated this other line item, I now have $25 that I need to take out, which right now we have every extra penny going to that extra mortgage line item. So I'm just going to update this here in real time. So that needs to be $18.54.34. And then we have a zero-based budget here. So that is our entire household budget for March 2021. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out my budget template with the link in the description box down below so you can get this actual budget template that I use every single month. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys in that next video. Bye.